In this video, I'm going to bring you a full day of diabetic eating that is a guarantee to lower your blood sugar levels. Let's go.
This diabetic breakfast is absolutely awesome. You're going to love it. It's only 3 ingredients. It's super crunchy, and it's a new take on the diabetic waffle. Okay, the secret is in my spice cabinet, and yes, it is quite messy. It's that everything bagel seasoning, but 2 other ingredients make the list. And first is egg whites, which is definitely something different because a lot of folks will use the whole egg. And then our mozzarella cheese. Now I have from Aldi, and I also have from Butcher's, which is a local grocery store chain here. 3 ingredients, all you need for this. Grab that whisk. Measuring cups, y'all know I'm messy. It ain't gonna be clean, and it's never gonna be clean. The bowl, and of course your chaffle maker. You want to set up your workstation properly, and I love my dry measuring cups. You can see that these guys are old, and you know what? Old is great. If it's not broken, don't fix it. I have dry measuring spoons, and I have our liquid measuring cup. Now, I hate to do dishes, so I measure everything in our liquid measuring cup. These are tips I want you to learn from me. Why do all those dishes? We have a 1/3 cup of our egg whites. Remember, we're looking at 100% egg whites for this. They're still a great source of protein, 4 grams of protein and 18 calories. And remember, gang, 1 egg is equal to 2 egg whites. So if you're doing another recipe of yours that calls for eggs, you want to replace it with egg whites, go for it. I get asked a lot of questions about eggs and egg whites, and I want to give that variety to folks who are looking to go a little bit lower calorie with their foods. We add a 1/2 cup of our cheese. I am using mozzarella cheese. It tends to be a little bit lower in calorie. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of our everything bagel seasoning. Now, yes, there is no Trader Joe's around me. I have to drive 3 to 4 hours for the nearest Trader Joe's. So when I do, I make it worth my while and I buy this. Now I do know that Walmart, all the other stores are carrying this. You can see I'm on the struggle bus a little bit with this. If you all have any tips to taking the top off of this, it would be awesome, because guess what? I'm turning Cajun. I am Cajun, so I can't really say I'm turning Cajun. I'm measuring like one right now. We're just gonna go ahead and shake, shake, shake in there. So if any tips to take that covering off, I'm sure somebody's gonna say use a butter knife, but I am all ears. And hey, if you're new here, I'm Shelly. I'm a dietitian. I wrote the series Skinny Louisiana in the Kitchen. You can scroll in the comments to learn more about that. So let's go ahead and mix all these ingredients together. Now go ahead and plug that chaffle maker in, give it a little spray of Pam. Now this is really important, gang. This is a very thin mixture. And so when you measure it out, you see I'm kind of using an old school ice cream scoop. You want to make sure you get cheese in there, because if you just got the egg white in there and no cheese, it would be kind of like an egg bite, which is still delicious, but we want a chaffle. We want the cheese. It's gonna make it super crispy. Close that lid for 2 to 3 minutes. Grab a paper plate, because I'm fancy like that. And when we lift the lid, look and notice how crispy, how thin this is. It's very different from your traditional chaffle recipes. Go ahead and add a fiber to that. You all know the importance of fiber and protein. I'm gonna link next the best diabetes diet, because it explains that fiber protein combination even more. Gang, if you love this recipe, be sure to like and subscribe. If you don't feel like cooking, or really don't feel like going to the grocery store, I don't want you to worry, because I have you covered with a diabetic lunch meal prep recipe that follows a very simple formula that doesn't require you to go to the store. The ingredients for this recipe are really simple, because we're simply shopping our refrigerator and our pantry for these items. I encourage you to look to various vegetables, and even if you have any leftover avocado, we're going to use that today. Now you can see that I grabbed my saucepan and I have various chopped up vegetables on my cutting board. One of the things I encourage us to do is to use all of our vegetables, and if we have a recipe that maybe calls for half of the vegetable, continue to chop it and store it in your Ziploc bags. And that's exactly what I did here, especially items like peppers and onions. Now the spinach is left over from a salad. That unfortunately doesn't have the longest shelf life, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. But look again at those peppers, zucchini, squash. This recipe can work with so many vegetables that have a great shelf life. Now, of course, I normally use the rotisserie chicken. That's for our wraps, but some of us may have some leftover meat. I'm using turkey deli meat in this recipe, and I know some of y'all poo-poo the deli meat, and if that's you, that is fine. So go ahead and use your beautiful grilled chicken if you have grass-fed beef that you maybe cooked, but this wrap is all about utilizing leftovers. And the real equation is look for some type of protein and look for some type of vegetable, because the Mission Carb Balance wraps we should always have in our pantry, and those are an amazing source of fiber. We layer our wraps with our cheese, our protein, and our vegetables, and we simply turn on the stove, and we're going to go ahead and cook it for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Now, you do see that I added the avocado with this, and we love avocados in here. They're a great source of omega-3 fats. It kind of gives us a little zing. So if you maybe have like a little bit of a mustard, or maybe like a pesto or something like that you want to add, go for it. But again, the simple equation to this is a protein, which is your meats, some type of vegetable, and then your fiber. You cook it for 1 minute and 30 seconds on each side, and we have an amazing product. Gang, I'm Dietitian Shelly. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. Grab your slow cooker, 3 simple ingredients, and we have a perfect dinner for diabetics that is delicious and low carb. Now, you can't have a recipe without ingredients, and we're keeping it simple at 3. We have Alfredo sauce, spinach, and our chicken. Go ahead and grab your trusty slow cooker. You can see mine's kind of old as dirt, but hey, it's not fancy and it works. That's all I can ask for. Now, one of my little tips is I love to spray the inside of your slow cooker with a non-stick cooking spray. You can see I'm using just regular old Pam. I know a lot of you all have the pump spray. I am looking to getting one. I've talked about it in a video before. I haven't yet. So give me your pros and cons if you do have a pump spray. There are the slow cooker covers out there. I've honestly haven't had a lot of luck with them. I've used them, but they busted, so it gets all messy. Go ahead and lay your chicken in there. You can see that this is chicken breast. You could use chicken tenderloin. You could even use boneless, skinless thighs if you would like to. I probably should have cut a little bit of fat off that meat, but you know, I'll cut it off whenever it's done cooking. No big deal. 3 ounces of chicken has 24 grams of protein. We know protein is important to keep that blood sugar stable. You're going to go ahead and cover this with your Alfredo. Now, you can see I have a couple issues opening. I am terrible when it comes to opening stuff. You've seen in videos past, I've had issues with bottles and salsa, cans. Give me your tips, y'all. I mean, I am all about it. You can also see that I do get every little bit of Alfredo sauce. I put a little water in there, give it a little shake, pour it in. Cover this, cook on high for 4 hours. Now, once that 4 hours is complete, you're going to remove that chicken. You can see you're just left with that hot sauce, and I'm going to stir in the spinach. A cup of spinach is only 7 calories, gang. You're going to know by now it shrinks. It's kind of a running joke. You see it all over social media that folks will saute down, 10 bags of spinach and you only get a serving. It kind of does happen. You're going to go ahead, add your chicken back in. This is a super dinner. Serve it over spaghetti squash, zucchini noodles, cauliflower rice, and you have an amazing low-carb dinner. Gang, I'm Dietitian Shelly. Go ahead and like this channel, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.